All right, we're about to begin. So just so you all know, it was the executive chef here was Andrew Krause. And how about an applause for all of our wait staff helping us out tonight? They always do such a great job here. Thank you, wait staff. All right, so I'm going to introduce the president and CEO, but before I do, I deliberately, before doing this, I said, I want to meet this Steve guy. So, because I don't like to get up and introduce people I haven't met. Seriously, because I can't get up here and say, oh yeah, Steve's a nice guy, when really, he might be mean. So I can't say that. He might be a really horrible guy, but I met Steve Fedico, and I really like Steve Fedico, and we had a lovely chat. And the other thing about West Michigan, you all know this, remember how Richard DeVos used to get up and almost any fundraiser and he would say, you want to be wired in this community, you have to give. I mean, he wouldn't have any hesitation saying that. I mean, he talked about giving in this community and he didn't hesitate at all. And he just loved West Michigan. I love West Michigan. And I said to Steve, I said, you know, this is West Michigan. This is West Michigan, man. And he said, I have a little history of West Michigan. Oh, really? So I'm going to let Steve Fedico, the new CEO and president, tell you about that. Steve Fedico.
As Tim mentioned, my name is Steve Fedico. I have the distinct pleasure of serving as CEO for Porter Hills and UMRC. And this, in many ways, as we came together on March 1st as a combined organization, it is a coming home. I did live in Grand Rapids. Actually, many may know, I lived about 2 blocks from the One Trick Pony. Some may know that establishment downtown. Not that I ever went there, mind you, but for occasional dinner. But it's been amazing as I've had this sense of coming home and getting refamiliarized with Grand Rapids. And I don't know, for those of you who have lived here continuously, it was an eye-opener coming back after 20 plus years to see all the amazing changes that have gone on here. The investment in the community, first and foremost. And I think that's really one of the things we're celebrating today here tonight, is the reinvestment, not just in the greater Grand Rapids community, but all that you've invested in Porter Hills with your time, talents, and your treasures. We're also here in this time of Thanksgiving to celebrate the amazing team members we have here who make a profound impact on the people we serve. We're going to be able to share a few examples of the thousands that happen on a daily basis. I would be remiss if I didn't mention on March 1st, Porter Hills and UMRC came together. We are stronger together. Our faith-based organization serves over 6,700 older adults annually by 1,300 team members across 24 service locations and communities. We are truly invested in the Lower Peninsula from shore to shore, serving older adults now and for generations to come. We seek out the best ways to continuously improve the way we serve those who choose to live with us and choose to utilize our services. One of the key best practices that we do share is our investment and our support for our amazing team members. We have some of them here tonight. We've seen examples here, and you'll hear more about them in the coming moments. They truly transform people's lives through their care, through their loving touch, through the amazing work they do each and every day. If you've not had an opportunity to observe it firsthand, I encourage you to. It's amazing. And it reminds us of all that's good in this world. The work that these individuals do, many times at 2 a.m., having a family member, my mother, in fact, late-stage Alzheimer's, doing things for our families that we are challenged to do. So hopefully you can reflect and celebrate along with me that by your giving, you have enabled us to invest in these amazing individuals in ways to support them in their growth and to recognize and thank them for doing what many of us are challenged to do in the care and the amazing love that they give to those that we serve. So tonight we're here to celebrate them and to celebrate you for supporting them. I would love to invite up Jay Weisentanner and have him, as Porter Hills Foundation President, Foundation Board Chair, share a few of his thoughts. And again, thank you. Hopefully you've seen with some of the testimonials that were shared already and those we're about to share, how very thankful we are and how very fortunate we are to be part of your lives and to be able to serve the people that Porter Hills does serve. So with that, Jay.
Thank you. I'm Jay Weisentanner, as Steve mentioned, board chair of the Porter Hills Foundation. And I'm delighted to welcome each of you and to thank you for being here tonight for this inaugural Thanks for Giving event. As Steve said, our affiliation has strengthened our organization by helping us bring best programs and best practices to bear at each of our locations. I'm especially excited tonight about the ideas that are implementing to support our terrific team members. And I want to share with you some personal stories as well. 8 years ago, I was asked to join what they had called at that time the Professional Advisor Committee. It was a PAC, and it's sort of the minor league of the foundation board. Younger men in the community would join and work their way up behind people like Jim Preston. And a partner of mine at Norris Prenay and French, John Darling, who has a long history. Grandparents lived here, his parents lived here. So I was following in a partner's footsteps to continue that relationship that Porter Hills had with my firm, Norris Prenay and French. And in fact, there's some family members here of Dick Young. John Darling's grandfather, Dallas Darling, who people may know, generously donated some money to put a name on a room at Porter Hills Village in honor of Dick. In addition, one of our founding partners, Charlie French, moved into the townhouses in 2006 and lived there until he passed away in 2013. But after I was in the minor leagues for about 5 years, I got called up to the foundation. And that's what they say, the show, as they call it. And so there was more than just the relationship of my firm that I was following, but I had, as I mentioned, a personal relationship. As a lot of people know here, I grew up in Boston, New England area, and I moved my family out here 13 years ago. We had a young daughter, and what attracted me here was Grand Rapids, the community. And as Steve mentioned, other people mentioned, the families that are here and the values of giving back to the community. And those were the virtues I wanted to raise my daughter with and be part of this community. So I came out here, and I was just happy to be part of the fabric of this community. And when I moved out here, I left behind an aunt of mine. She was the youngest sibling of my father, who passed away 6 years ago. And when my father passed away, I promised that I would look after her. 3 years ago, we had a scary episode where she was sent to the hospital and was diagnosed with dementia. On top of that, she was a diabetic. Here she is living in Boston by herself, her family scattered around. I went into Porter Hills, consulted with a few people. We arranged to get her into a room in Cedar Court. But how do we move her here? Porter Hills collaborates with a lot of agencies in the community, one being Senior Movers. I flew out to Boston, my brother flew in from the UK, we met a mover there. And not only just moving her things to Porter Hills, but the mover went through and identified furnishings and belongings that would make that Cedar Court room look like her home when she moved in. And that's just amazing. And when we got to Porter Hills, going in and experiencing what the staff was doing, as Steve mentioned, the dedicated staff we have that's doing it each day for each and every one of us. And I know there's people in the room here who have family members there. So we're all a family. All a family. And I'm proud to serve as a volunteer at Porter Hills. I'm proud to give money back to this organization because it's a family, but it's also that staff team members that are taking care of our family members as caregivers. One last thing I want to share also is saying that I heard from a Benedict monk, these words. And the root of joy is gratefulness. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is the gratitude that makes us joyful. So with that, I would like to pleasure to introduce Wendy Brightman, President of the Foundation of UMRC in Porter Hills.
Good evening. These are big shoes to follow. I'm glad to get to be here. I'm thrilled to welcome you this evening. And we were thinking, I'm from the other side of the state, and I'm here because of the marriage between UMRC and Porter Hills. And there was an event in this room about a year ago, plus a month, and we sat, and this wasn't real yet. And boy, how far we've come in a year. And it's been an amazing journey and getting to know many of you. So thank you for being here this evening. Thank you. How many of you know that Michigan is the fastest aging state in the US? Yep. More than Florida. Some of you have listened to this before, but more than Florida, more than Arizona. Americans are also living 3 decades longer than our ancestors did 100 years ago. And there's someone in this room that we predict will probably live to be 150. Times have changed. And UMRC and Porter Hills together, as you're debating who that is at your table, together we are committed to serving this increasing number of older adults in ways they want to be served and that they deserve to be served. As this population increases, so increases the number of the caregivers that we need to serve them. You've heard a lot about them tonight, these important people who wear their angel wings every day. Statistics show that Michigan will need 34,000 more caregivers in 6 weeks by 2020 than the 174,000 paid caregivers we are already employing in this state. It's startling. For anyone who has someone that they love receiving care from a caregiver, you know how crucial and honorable their work is and how important it can be to that person that you love. We also know that it's very, very difficult work. It takes heart and strength and a sense of humor and love. UMRC and Porter Hills care. We want to nurture our team members by providing them with the tools and the support they need to succeed in their role. It makes a difference to those they're serving, and we want them to stay with us for years to come. That's why tonight I'll share, we are so excited to be establishing the employee support program that has been so successful at UMRC at Porter Hills. And I don't know if John Nixon knew that, but John's the chair of the corporate board, and just tonight at dinner, he's like, we need to, I know John, so I'm glad to share that with you. I completely agree. In 2014, the UMRC Foundation, out of Chelsea, on the other side, our sister organization, we launched our employee scholarship program, which supplies competitive scholarships for our team members pursuing higher education to meet their career goals, with priority given to those who are doing the toughest frontline work: our dining staff, our caregivers, our laundry, our people who are doing the heavy lifting. As Steve Fedico will say, if we're not at work tomorrow, tomorrow will be a very good day for those who are serving at Porter Hills and UMRC, because the frontline staff are the ones that matter. Since we've started that scholarship program, we have given 140 scholarships away, totaling more than $340,000 in the last 5 years. I'm also proud to tell you that in an area of our world that has a very high turnover rate, Those who've received scholarships are staying. 77% of those who received dollars are still with us. That's big, big news. And that does deserve a round of applause. That's big. And in addition to scholarship programs, we also have the emergency aid program that we're going to be launching here. And what that does is if we have somebody on our team that has a medical emergency or a car issue, we have a program to help support them. It's done with grace, it's done with anonymity, and it's done with love. And that's going to be starting here in January as well. And I'm just so proud of that. That's incredible stuff. So, I'll close, but I do want to share how grateful I am that you are here tonight, celebrating the launch of this important program. And by supporting our team members, you are improving the lives of those in our care. This program is a win-win and will make a difference across the whole state. On behalf of Porter Hills, on behalf of our board members, I want to say thank you with the most enthusiastic heart for being here and for the changes that you've helped to make to this organization. It is my honor to close by wishing you and your family and loved ones a blessed Thanksgiving. It's right around the corner. And this Thanks for Giving event we thought was a terrific way to launch that. We do have a few stories to tell, and I think our host with the most will come up and direct that, but it's been my honor. Thank you very, very much.
For those of you who do not know this gentleman, and he truly is a gentleman, I'm going to introduce you to Doug Young. And he is here with his son Cameron, and he is representing his family, especially his parents, Dick and Barbara, who are in Florida right now, but they are Cook Valley residents. Doug's father, in 1995, started the foundation, the Porter Hills Foundation. And so I would just like to invite Doug to stand up and say a few words.
Got to get this out of the way so I don't fall down. Hello, Porter Hills, and all the friends. For those of you that know my father, Dick, he would normally start off with a joke. But I'm sorry, you're not going to get one from me. I didn't get that gene. But he did send a note that he wanted me to read for all of you. It starts, initially, I became connected with Porter Hills because I was attracted to the people involved. Many were Rotarians. I see many here today. I served on the operating board, and in 1995, started the foundation, serving as its first president, forming the first board, and gathering support for the initial funding of the endowment. It was clear to me from the start that if Porter Hills was to be successful long into the future, there would need to be an endowment to support and maintain it into perpetuity. It's been comforting to me to know that when extra help is needed, Porter Hills can be counted on to provide quality care for aging persons. My mother and sister, and my wife's mother and sister, have benefited from years of care at Porter Hills. Currently, my wife Barbara and I are enjoying our time at Cook Valley Estates. We enjoy many friends and activities and feel comforted by the support offered by the continuum of care at Porter Hills. May many people have peace of mind in being associated with this fine organization. Love to you all from Dick and Barb Young. Thank you so much for all your support and the fine job that's being done by Porter Hills. My dad and mom very much appreciate what they have at Cook Valley. So thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce, if you don't already know, Charlie Royce, who is his father's namesake. And I really want to just share with you how special it is for you and Maria and your family to be here, especially since Stella, Charlie and Maria's mother, passed away this week. And so this is difficult. But the Royces always rise to the occasion. And their parents taught them to do that, and they do it beautifully. So Charlie is going to just say a few words.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, so Stella passed away in Harmony Hall after better part of 5 years. And to say the staff was kind and helpful just doesn't even begin to kind of speak to what it meant to us for her to be so well taken care of. My mom obviously loved music her whole life. It was a very big deal for her, and so the Porter Hills Choir was this opportunity for her, even though she didn't know where she was going. She would be walked to a room full of people that were singing. She'd be handed some music that I don't believe she could read. She would walk up and start singing along, have a wonderful time. Someone would hand her a microphone, and a pianist would start playing, and she would sing a solo, and the whole room would just be moved. And I'm sitting in the corner thinking, of all the things that could go on for my mom, it's happening here. And it would go on twice a week for months. When she reached a point that she could no longer participate in the choir, they set up a recliner next to the piano in Harmony Hall, and people would come and play the piano, and she would just sit and smile. I mean, what an opportunity for a person who can no longer make any of her own decisions to have just a beautiful experience. To the very end, my mom was listening to music and enjoying it, even though she couldn't hear very well. You had to put the iPhone right next to her ear, but she would smile or she would hum. I mean, she loved music to the end. And the staff knew. The staff was, well, if they don't all know all the Andre Rio DVDs, they haven't been there very long. I mean, we played Andre Rio day in and day out, and for years she would just sit with someone. She was in the audience just loving the concert. It was just the most beautiful experience. And the staff just went out of their way for her, every opportunity they could. And to the very end, with hospice for the last couple of weeks of her life, I would go over and one of the staff would just be sitting with her. I just miss her. You know, the stories are just so rich and deep that the staff, I mean, you can't put this on. It's all real. And to have a staff that's dedicated to your loved one is priceless. Thank you.
The last gentleman that is going to be sharing with us could not be here tonight, and it's a little bit of a surprise because he is going to share with us via video. And he is the son of Bob and Judy Hooker, and his father does not even know this, and so this is really special. And so let us listen to this video. These words, I know David personally, and I know his dad, and these are really heartfelt words.
Porter Hills has a great mission. It is serving seniors with grace. I know this from personal experience. 3 of my 4 grandparents lived out their many years at Porter Hills. They were years filled with good times, lots of family time, time with friends, and making new friends. My mother and father lived together at Cook Valley for many years. They were great years. They could travel, they could have company over, they could have family over. We came over and messed up their house. It was really great. My mom's no longer with us, but my vibrant, active, and fully engaged 89-year-old father still lives at Cook Valley. We expect him to be there for many years. Let me share with you a cute story. My grandmother Hooker lived in an apartment here in Grand Rapids for many years. She had lots of friends and never intended on moving. Yet life changes. We develop needs, and those needs needed to be met in a different place. The logical choice was Porter Hills. We put her name on a wait list. Her name moved to the top. She got the call and promptly said, "No, thank you." Well, a wise director at Porter Hills called my father and explained the situation. Dad got together with Graham, and they had a long, significant discussion, and she agreed to move. She wasn't happy about it, but she agreed to move. After living at Porter Hills for 2 weeks, everything had changed. She found many of her existing friends already lived there. She made many new friends there. She was having the time of her life. What happened in those 2 weeks? Well, she was surrounded by love. She was surrounded by friends. She was needed. That, my friends, is called grace. Thank you and have a great night.
All right, where is Papa Bear Hooker? Isn't he? Where is he? Right here. That's who's going to live to be 150 years old. The secret is out, Bob. That was fantastic. Where's our board president? Oh, there she is. Now, you know what? Didn't you think she looks kind of Dutch? I think you might want to move to West Michigan. Yeah, you got Dutch all over you. We would love you here. Just put a Dutch last name and you're in. So, hey, it's a little after 8. You don't have to rush out of here. You can hang out and have a chat with folks. No big deal. One thing I want to make sure that you know, and this is not, I'm not saying, no, you have to give money. No, on this brochure thingy here, on the back is a place, and there's pins at the table. You can rip it off, and if there's any questions you have about what's going on or anything that you want to know, you can just write that down, and they will give you a call. And just, it's not about asking for money, it's just about what's going on and what's new and what's changing. That sort of thing. So we want you to know that. And also the flowers in the center of the table, someone gets to take that. We're thinking about doing cage match fighting in here to see who gets it. But we don't have to go to that degree. Just anybody if you want, and then you take it to, they'll last through Thanksgiving, so you can make it up to your family and say, I paid a lot of money for this, and you bring it in, and everyone will go, thank you so much. You gotta know, don't think about it. So just decide among you who might like that, okay? Jim Preston, are you here tonight? Jim Preston, who's been around for a while here, there. Jim, thank you for... Jim asked me and Joanna and Karen Owen, where's Karen? She's back there in that back. Karen is a Chelsea area who coming up, and Joanna, they all worked on making this all happen. And Jim, thanks for asking me to come back and be part of this. And you didn't even know that my life is now part of living at Porter Hills as a caregiver, and it's really changed my life. And so this is really genuinely different for me. And I just think it's... I think it's really great, and I like our new CEO and president. He seems like a really great guy. We had a great chat, and I hope to get together with him again. Another for Steve Fedico. So it's exciting. Thank you all. Thank you again for being here. Verhey carpet. I need carpet in the hall. Where are you? Okay. Where? Right? Okay. I have carpet from you the last time. I'm going to go over. The next time I'm at Porter Hills, I'm going to rip up a big section, so you're going to have to replace it. I'm going to take it to my house, all right? So again, take your time, drive careful, and thank you for being here tonight, all right? And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Good night.